Hello, this is Professor Tom Wolfe. This is the first in a series of videos that explore the Java FX graphical user interface system. Java FX has been around for a little bit now, but it's not been something we've taught previously. Here in Computer Programming 2, we teach the Swing graphical user interface system, which is well established. And Java FX seems to be a new system. I'm still learning the system myself, but for this delivery I'm going to start teaching it in addition to Swing. So I understand this is going to be a replacement for Swing. I'm not sure about the adoption. I really don't know it real well yet, but I can do the programs and show you how to do the basics. Our textbook does not have any material on Java FX. We'll have to use the online tutorials. Probably one of the best is the one at the Oracle website, the Learning Trail. And again, my idea here is that you will encounter this after you've already learned the Swing, which we normally do in the course. So this first presentation, I'm going to show you how to use NetBeans to create the Hello World Swing application. And we'll go ahead and build that, and we'll look at the basic structure. So you're going to see that in Java FX we have this thing called the scene object, and we're going to create all of our GUI elements and add them to the scene, and then we add the scene to our master object, which is called the stage. And so it turns out under the hood this is a graph element data structure, and that might or might not be helpful to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get into NetBeans and give this a shot here. So I'm going to go File, New Project, and then you can see I have the Java FX. So I'll come on down here and pick that. And we want to do the Java FX application. So we'll go ahead and hit that and hit Next. And then, let's see, pick a place for working here. Let me just create a new directory here real quickly for this. Box sync. Let's see, CP1 working. So I want CP2 working, and then FX, and then, okay, that's good right there. And I'm just going to call this new open. New hello. The reason for that is I've already gone through this and I have an existing project, but I wanted to show you the whole thing. Now, you actually want to create the, let's see, is that right? Yeah, I think we want to actually create this application class, so that's a little bit of a change. Let's go ahead and see what we get. I'll hit finish, and let's take a look at our project. Notice that I have a package called New Hello, and then I have my New Hello Java, and we can see that that's open over here on the right hand side. And notice right off, New Hello extends application. So when we create a JFX, Java FX program, we're going to inherit from application, not unlike the way that we often inherit from JFrame when we create Swing programs. Okay? All right, let's go through. So we have our start method, and when we do this and we extend the application, we're going to override the start method. So notice the start takes a stage element, which is called primary stage, and you're going to see that we're going to create what will become the stage and add it in here. So let's just look at the code for this. Alright, so first thing is we have a button, and a lot of this will be very similar to Swing. So for instance, in Swing this would be J button, right? So now we just have button. Set text, say hello world. As you can guess, that's going to actually put that text on the button. And now this button.setOnAction is actually the event handler. So notice we have an anonymous inner function, new event handler. It takes an action event. And then we have the override because we have to override the handle method. And this is how it'll handle, in this case, the button press. So you can see here that system out print line hello world is what it does when the user triggers the event. And so handle really is a more generic way of saying handle a button click in this case because it's a button. The reason it's handle though is it might not be a button. So it might not be a click event, it might be some other kind. So handle is kind of like for the default action of the particular element. Okay, we go ahead and create a stack pane. And this is just a container to hold GUI elements. Later on we'll see that we have similar panes to the ones that we looked at in Swing. So there's a grid pane, there's a HBox and VBox things that look like you know, the ones in Swing. There's a couple other ones too. So this stack pane, I don't know a lot about it, but this is the default here. And often we'll replace this with either grid pane, which is you know, a grid-based layout, or we do have that region-based layout that we saw in Swing as well in JavaFX. Okay. It's common to call this the root because it's a graph, and so if you know anything about the graph data structure, the root is the primary element, and then the rest of the elements are children of the root. So whatever we're going to use here, in this case a stack pane, we'll name it root, we'll get its children, and then we'll add the components. In this case I only have the one component, which is this button, so I go ahead and add it in, and then now I create a scene. And you can see that the scene is going to take the root as the first parameter, and then optionally I can include the dimensions. So let's go ahead and make this a square window with 300 by 300, and that's not that important. And then we'll set the title for the primary stage to Hello World. We'll set the scene to the scene that we just created, and then we'll start the program by saying primary stage.show. Okay? So again, notice the start takes the primary stage, and we're building that here. Okay? So again, this is all inherited. And then here's the main method that actually, if you run the file, runs. So it runs this method called launch. I'm sort of unclear about this. It seems like in some of the programs you have to override launch, but here in this simple one it's not needed. All right, let's run this and see what happens. So I'm just going to run the file. And there we go. So this should go ahead when I click print hello world to the console. You can see that it does. So that's the most simplest basic example. And then I can go ahead and close this in this manner. Okay? All right, so that's pretty simple and straightforward. And let's go ahead and add a second button in. So we'll add a quit button in this time. Okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and parallelize this. Button quit button equals new button. I think you can pass the name of the button in here like we do in Swing, but we'll go ahead and just follow the code the way it is. So then quit btn dot set text. Whoops. And that's going to be quit. And we'll come down here. All right. All right, now we have to go ahead and write an event handler for our quit button. So quit btn dot set Let's see what that is. Set on action. Whoops, sorry. Again, I'm still getting used to this. So set on action. And then this is going to be a new event handler, which takes an action event. Let's go ahead and put the body in here. Sometimes I like to kind of rearrange the formatting for these to make them a little bit more readable. Okay, so here's the beginning and ending of this, and then we'll have to override this is called an annotation, by the way, and this is another new Java 8 thing that I don't know a lot about yet, so we'll see as we go how this works. So public void, let's see. Oh, you know what? I wanted to use a lambda expression here. Well, that's all right. Okay, so public void handle action event, and then this is just going to be system dot exit and then 0. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Public void handle. Why doesn't it like that? Oh, I forgot the parameter here, event, which we're not using. All right, there we go. So then let's see here. What do I need to finish this out? We need the paren. Yeah, let's just come on down to the next line here. Oh, no, that's fine. Like that works fine. Whoops. Why did it do that? Let's see. All right, so now we just need to add this in. So root.getChildren, add button. Let's copy that. And then we'll add the quit button in here. All right, I think we should be good to go. Let's give it a try and see if it works. This time I'll try the green arrow. All right, so it didn't work very well, but we can see the buttons are over one another. But I think that it's probably going to actually work. So let's hit the quit. It stops. Okay, let's run it again. And see if we can get the say hello there. Yep. So that doesn't do very well with the layout, and that's because we're using that stack pane. So I think we could go with a different layout and it would work better. All right. All right. Real quickly, let's see if we can do this with a lambda expression instead. So let me just think about this for a second. I don't think we have to do this handler. Let's see. Yeah, I think we can do this. All right, let's see here. Let's try this. Cannot be instantiated. Event handler. Wonder if we even need that here. Again, I'm still learning this these new Java 8 things. That might work better. Let's see. Oh, seems like that's going to work. Okay, let's see if this will work now. So I replaced that with a lambda expression. All right. Hopefully it'll work. All right. And we really only need to test out our quit. Yeah, it does. There you go. Okay, so again, this is just a real brief introduction. You can see that the NetBeans project type does a lot for us. So it assumes that we're going to extend the application. And I think all the ones that I've done so far work this way. All right, so I think that's enough for our first example of Java FX. Hopefully this will be interesting and useful for you. So code on, dudes and dudettes. All right.